You hear his voice every month in our Hidden Gems segment as he tells you about some of the coolest upcoming, unknown indie games.
And now, we've finally got him here in person. Please welcome to the show, Cole Watson.
Hey. Oh, man.
I know.
You have a face.
Shockingly.
Wow.
Yeah, I was surprised as well.
Yeah, I thought you might just be a disembodied voice.
I think most people would prefer it if I were, but I guess this is what I'm like.
Yeah, it's good to put a face with the voice. No, yeah. We're sizing him up here. Yeah. So I guess since we have you here in person, let's just hear your top 3 hidden gems, the most anticipated games of 2018 in your opinion.
Yeah, for sure. So typically whenever I find a hidden gem, I actually just get a broken metal detector and bring it to the beach, and then whatever I bring back is what I shove in front of you.
Oh,
like, yeah, I'm like a recently unemployed father that refuses to get a real job.
Sure,
I'm a beach person.
You got a hobby.
Yeah.
It's good to have a hobby.
Yes, yeah, even if it's insane. Also goes well with my bucket hats. But yeah, so the first game I want to talk about is Bayonetta. So Bayonetta is making its way to the Switch. So Bayonetta 1 and 2 are getting Switch ports. The main reason I'm excited about this is because I have never played a Bayonetta game before. And so this is going to be my first chance to sink my teeth into them. So they may be horrible, but I don't think they are. The reason being is because the Bayonetta games have a really dedicated fan base, including Eric, who is somewhere over here.
Yeah.
I know he's a huge fan of the Bayonetta games. This might sound like a weird comparison, but they remind me a lot of Edgar Wright movies. Edgar Wright, if you don't know, he's a director. He did Baby Driver recently. He also did Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He almost did Ant-Man, but he didn't win. But he's all about visual presentation. He's all about very over-the-top, flashy things happening in front of you, and it just works. And I think the thing that Platinum Games does really well is giving you that presentation and also giving you great gameplay, even ahead of things like story and characters. And those are obviously important, but if you have a good story and the gameplay sucks, what's the point?
Yeah, you can't get through it. The Edgar Wright comparison is fascinating, and I never thought about that before.
Yeah, for sure.
So
he's awesome.
That's awesome. Okay, what's next on your list?
So next is Detective Pikachu. Now, of all the games I'm talking about, this is the one I'm most excited for. You'd think I would have put it in the beginning, but I decided to do it in the middle.
Oh, I like that.
So if you don't know what Detective Pikachu is, so this is a game about a grouchy, older Pikachu that wears a Sherlock Holmes hat. He solves mysteries. There's not anything more than that. It's just that concept. There's not even gameplay. It's just that.
That's incredibly charming.
Yeah. If you need further explanation as to what Detective Pikachu really is, imagine if Mark Maron suddenly had to solve mysteries. Like, no one gave him a heads up. No one told him, like, hey, you're going to have to, like, do this in a minute. It just happened. Like, he just got thrust into it. Like, oh, God, I got to do this.
Now
what
I
need.
Solve crimes.
I guess there's clues, I guess. I don't know. But arguably, I'm even more excited about the amiibo that comes out with this thing, other than the game itself.
Nice.
So obviously, there's already a Pikachu amiibo. So this thing, it has a permanent scowl of anguish on its face. It has a little detective hat, and it's also twice the size of a regular amiibo. I don't know why. But
that's interesting.
Nintendo was just like, we'll just hold the shift key and drag it. This is bigger now. So I'm really excited about that. There's also a movie coming out. It's pretty early in production right now, but Ryan Reynolds is going to be Pikachu. And it's being written by the very funny Alex Hirsch, who wrote Gravity Falls. Yeah. So he's amazing. So I don't see a situation in which that movie's not going to be fantastic.
That is crazy.
You just got me real jacked up for this game.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think I've ever been so excited. By Pikachu.
Yeah. This came out in Japan a couple years ago, and so now it's finally getting localized.
Okay, well, tell us, we got one more. What's the last one on your list?
So this one, Spider-Man, coming out sometime this year.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, I know Funhouse kind of covered this briefly the last month, but my excitement for this game really can't be overstated for a couple of reasons. One, Spider-Man's been my favorite superhero ever since I was a kid, and also this game's being made by Insomniac. So I mean, if you don't know, they made Ratchet & Clank, they made Spyro, they recently made Song of the Deep for us here at GameStop, which is a great Metroidvania game. But they just very clearly understand what makes a fun Spider-Man game. Like when I saw that E3 footage last year, my jaw was on the floor.
Oh, man.
If you recall seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, just like the web swinging alone, that's hard.
I was gonna say, and that's
hard.
The two things that make a good Spider-Man game are the fluidity of the movements, so like the web swinging, and also the way you interact with the environment.
Sure.
So like they had like the quick time events. It's like, there's a thing falling from the whatever. You got to stop it. You gotta
capture that Spidey sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
and
know,
so that's just such an interesting way of implementing that idea. So I'm really excited to see what else they can cram into this game.
Well, I think that one is definitely on a lot of people's lists.
For sure.
Certainly on mine, because anytime you can pretend to swing through the buildings like Spider-Man,
sign
You
me
got to
up.
do it. You got to do it.
And
Absolutely.
last time I did it, I got arrested. So I'm glad that this time I can do it in the comfort of my
This
own
one's legal. It's much safer. It's great. It's great. Okay. Are there any last honorable mentions before we have to?
I wasn't prepared for that. I'm kidding. It's in the prompter.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's all there. So we got Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze featuring Funky Kong, who is literally too cool to die. We have the new Kirby Star Allies, which features the androgynous meme machine of Kirby. You have Griftlands. This is a game I actually found out about pretty recently. It's an old school RPG with hand-drawn animations, so can't really beat that. And then there's also Shadow of the Colossus, which you guys talked about a lot last month.
Yeah.
I actually never got to play the original, much like with Bayonetta, so I'm really stoked to play this one. And it comes out this month, hopefully, unless something horrible happens, but it probably won't.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it so much.
Man, there's just so much to look forward to here.
Yeah,
I know.
And we have you here in person, which is also just really exciting and new. I mean, dude, this is awesome.
I'm a lot to deal with at once, I know.
No, man,
It's a privilege. It feels like seeing a wanted person, but in the flesh.
Yeah.
You know, like
there are definitely people that want me in prison.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Cole, thank you so much for stopping by and sharing everything that's on your list. We're super excited.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad I didn't cry.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
I'm glad we didn't make you
Any
cry.
tears on set? Yeah.
Oh man, do we have that effect on people?
I hope
We should
not.
reevaluate.
The makeup would have to be redone, and that's
Yeah,
not,
sure,
I
you don't
wouldn't want to put her through
No,
that.
we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Too much work for Lori. Yeah, she knows. Okay, as cool as it is to be on a show where we talk about games, and I think the three of us could sit here and talk about games for the rest of the day, sometimes you got to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, especially when that something else is a bunch of new toys, statues, collectibles, and apparel.
You read my mind, man.
Yeah, so let's start by checking in with Eric to see what's new in the world of collectibles right now.
Sounds like a plan. Eric, show us what we'll be spending our paychecks and our tax returns on this month.
Hey, thanks guys. Yes, I've got all kinds of cool collectibles here for the month of February, including some awesome Valentine's Day themed items. All right, let's start things off the way any good collectible segment should, with a pair of items from the collectible masters, Funko. Number one, we've got 4 action figures here from the upcoming movie Ready Player One, which is based on the popular book Ready Player One. You can see this is a little bit different for Funko, not the same as a lot of their popular figures like Pops. These are classically styled 3¼ inch action figures. Every one features a ton of detail and even comes with their own weapon. If you're a Funko collector and you love Ready Player One, you're gonna need to pick up this set. Next up, let's move on to one of Funko's most popular lines. These are, of course, Pop figures. Everybody loves Pops, right? Well, these are not just Pops, but they are Pops from one of my favorite animated series, Teen Titans Go. And I'd be lying if I didn't admit that every time I see it on TV, I watch until they stop showing Teen Titans Go episodes, which sometimes is hours and hours, and I'm okay with that. But these are special Teen Titans Go figures. These are not just your standard Robin or Starfire or Raven or Cyborg. These are Robin as Red X, or Robin as Nightwing, or Starfire as Batgirl, and even a pair of figures from the Teen Titans special event, Night Begins to Shine. A lot of really cool stuff for Teen Titans Go fans here. And now, because it's February, I think this would be a good time to look at some special Valentine's Day themed items. First thing I want to look at is a pair of Nightmare Before Christmas mugs. You can see here, it's 2 mugs. You've got Sally, you've got Jack. When you put them together, it looks like they are kissing. Really, really cool. Even if you're not trying to give these to somebody as a Valentine's Day gift, if you are a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, you're gonna wanna own these mugs. All right, maybe you're not a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, but you still want a really cool Valentine's Day themed mug. How about Joker and Harley Quinn? Very cool. You can see they're embracing there on top of a wedding cake with the broken heart. A really cool image. Okay, maybe you're not a big DC fan. How about Star Wars? You've got Han and Leia kissing with that classic line, "I love you, I know." Okay, now what is more classically Valentine's Day than an awesome plush toy? Now, you might say roses or chocolate, and you would be correct, but the next most classic Valentine's Day gift is a really cool plush. And we've got 2 cool series here from Aurora World. The first one I want to talk about are these right here. You've got Yeti and you've got Cyclops. They're holding these hearts. One says, "I love you." Get it? Because there's an I, it's a Cyclops with an I. Very clever, very sweet. And then, of course, "You're cool" from the Yeti. Again, another pun. So if your Valentine loves dad jokes, these are the plushes you need to buy. And the final items I want to talk about, also from Aurora World, are called Gnomelins. Now this is a huge, varied series of different plushes that you can choose from, whichever style makes most sense for the person you're giving one to. You can get one that looks like Cupid, one that looks like a devil. You can get ones with black hats, pink hats, red hats with purple hearts, ones that look like they're in prison. You could even get a really giant one. Depends on what you're looking for, but trust me, there's a Gnomelin for you or for your Valentine this year. Okay, that's gonna do it for February. But if you'd like to pick up any of the items I talked about today, you can do so while supplies last at your local GameStop store, on GameStop.com, or the GameStop app. All right, Chris and Marisha, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. And now, keeping with the collectibles theme,
yes,
we have something special from Funko.
Yeah, we do. Funko is one of the coolest companies around. I mean, no matter what it is that you love, there's a good chance they'll make something that you'll want to own.
Yeah, one of their most popular products is their extensive line of Pop vinyl figures. And everyone loves Pop, right?
Everyone.
Well, Funko is bringing their adorable vinyl figures to life in a new series of animated shorts.
Yeah, here's Loki and Doctor Strange in Time to Unwind.
Oh man, I love these videos.
Oh, this is so cute.
They're so much fun. Well, you can pick up Loki, Doctor Strange, and hundreds of other Marvel Pop figures at your local GameStop store or on GameStop.com.
All right, we need to take a break, but don't go anywhere because it's all about fighting games when we come back.